Hi guys, it's Anthony with AJK Beauty, back with another video. So I'm a little late in posting this, but I wanted to share with you guys my August 2009 empties. We had that longer weekend, and so I'm actually recording this on Labor Day, but I wanted to just kind of give you guys some information and a quick breakdown on the empties and products that I was able to get through in the month of August. And then I actually have a little bonus of some products that I didn't get through, but I most likely would have, or at least gotten a month through them. But I'm giving them to a family member that's going to be coming into town in the next couple of weeks. And I really, really wanted her to try these products. So or I at least wanted to give her the option to try them. So I'm saving them. So they're not completely empty. I'm just setting them aside so she can, pick and choose what she wants to use from them. But I want to cover them because if she takes them all, then that's going to be the end of it. I won't have them again in front of me to share with you guys. So let's start with the products that I actually was able to use this month and get through all of it. Some of this I was able to get through in the month. Some of this had been in my routine for a couple of months, some of them several months. So we'll kind of get through all of it. I want to start with this product. This is the Lotus Jeju Botanical pH Balancing Cleanser. This product was one that had been in my routine for actually a couple of months, and I did a review on it on a previous video. I think it was like a get ready with me video. It's made a few appearances. I think I started using this in June, and once I hit about a month and a half with it, maybe I hit a full 2 months with it, I just popped it in the shower, and I've been just using it as a face wash if I forgot to bring my current cleanser, which we'll talk about, into the shower. Sometimes I just squirted it right onto the loofah and used it as like a body wash. Sometimes it even like made it up to my scalp when I had shaved my head. So it's just been something that's been just like an extra cleanser, just a side cleanser that's been in my closet or in my shower for a few weeks, and I finally ran out the other day. So I love this cleanser. It's pH balanced. It smells terrific. It's incredibly gentle but still very thorough. And for a pH balanced kind of gel style cleanser, it really does foam up and lather quite nicely. It has a pretty rich foam considering that it's a very gentle, mild gel style cleanser. So that's that. Just finished up with that one. It's 150 mils. I mean, this thing will really last you a long time. Towards the end there, I was using it pretty generously, like on a loofah, just to kind of get through the last bit of it so I can move on to something else. But there's that, the Lotus. So I'll just set that over here. We'll just go ahead and work our way down the line. The next one is the Crave Beauty, the Beet Shield. This is an antioxidant day fluid that offers sun protection, even though it isn't categorized because of the regulations in the US. It's not categorized as a sunscreen, but it is the exact same formula that is offered in Korea as I think it's SPF, oh my gosh, this is going to be tough. Is it SPF 32? I'll put the details down below, but it's got a fairly high SPF rating, and it's like PA+++++, like 4 pluses. So exact same formula, but it uses some UVA and UVB protection ingredients that aren't approved in the US, but they are approved elsewhere. But I use this. I absolutely love the fact that it has a lot of antioxidant ingredients. It has vitamin C. So it really was more of a skincare product or a skincare focused ingredient that also offered sun protection. So I really, really liked this. It doesn't really have a scent. It doesn't leave a white cast. It didn't leave my skin feeling greasy or shiny. It just kind of left like a soft glow finish that I really appreciated. Didn't notice any pilling with it. And so it's just kind of a really great all-around sun protection product. I also love that it wasn't a traditional tube. It's a little bit of a hardier plastic, and it has kind of this like the small applicator at the top. And so I just felt more comfortable throwing this in like a hiking bag or in a travel bag and not worrying about opening it and the heat causing it to expand and a bunch of product to come shooting out. So this was perfect for summer. But yeah, it's just a really awesome product. I think it was $20. So for 50 mils for a really nice sunscreen, especially a non-Western sunscreen, that's a pretty decent deal. So the Beet Shield, absolutely recommend. Really great product. Moving right along, let's talk about, this is actually a Western brand product. This is from Drunk Elephant. It's their Lippy Balm. Now, I actually still have a lot of this left, but I wanted to talk about it, and I doubt that I'll be continuing to use it. I used it for, I think, a couple of months. I still got a little bit left there. Usually it's, it's a pretty tall stick. I used it for a couple months. It actually is a quite hydrating product, and I liked it because it just left my lips feeling very hydrated, very moisturized, and it has a lot of natural waxes and oils in it that give you some nourishment as well. But the thing of it for me, especially during the summer months, was that it doesn't have an SPF to it. So it doesn't offer sun protection to your lips. So sometimes if I was out in the sun for extended periods of time and reapplying this, that oiliness that you get from those natural oils almost seemed to act like a little bit of like a tanning oil for my lips, because after I would, wash my face in the evening, sometimes my lips actually felt drier and more sensitive and even a little bit cracked from using this product if I was exposed to a lot of sunlight. I've just learned that my lips respond so much better to products that have SPF as well as some hydrator, because it kind of protects that thin, delicate skin on the lips. And then I don't rely on lip sleeping masks or a lot of like scrubs and stuff, because my lips are really protected from the UVA and UVB rays. So for me, an SPF lip balm takes the place of a scrub, a mask, all of that stuff, because it just offers so much more protection. This was really good at what it does, and it does what it claims to do, is offer some hydration and nourishment when it's on. But especially if you're out in the sun for extended periods, you might want to put some sunscreen on your lips on top of it, or something just to provide you some protection. I don't think I'd be coming back to this. I think it was $18 for this little guy, whereas my current lip balm lip balm is in a stick form. It's the Revlon Kiss lip balm with SPF 20. It comes in various tinted shades and flavors, but I use the clear one, which is the coconut. So, and those are like $3 a stick, and I think they come with more So, I mean, it's decent. You can still see it. You get that nourishment. It's long lasting. You get a little bit of shine from it too, but there's no SPF, and that's just kind of a deal breaker for me. So, all right, moving on. I've got the Innisfree Jeju Orchid Eye Cream. This is a product that I was actually given. I was given it from a friend. She used it a couple times, didn't really like the scent of it, didn't really feel like it was doing a lot for her, so she passed it along to me. And I have to say, it's a decently hydrating eye cream, and you get a really nice amount. Yeah, I think this is a full 30 mils when most eye creams are in the 15 mil range. So you can kind of get double the amount you normally would. I forget what the pricing was since I got it for free as a gift. I'm not sure what the pricing was. I think it's in the $20 range, so pretty decent price for an eye cream. Offered some basic hydration to the eye area, but outside of that, I didn't notice any reduction in like the puffiness of my eyes or bags under my eyes, any dark circles that I might have temporarily been experiencing. It didn't really impact any of that. It was just a nice, lightweight moisturizer for my eye area that it was gentle enough for the eyes, and it lasted a really long time. So I had this in my routine for quite some time. And in fact, I still had a little bit down at the bottom, but I was just honestly ready to move on and see if I could find an eye cream that was, a little bit more beneficial for me. So I kind of just rinsed out that last little bit so I could kind of move on. And also, I from what I remember, another thing about this is this Innisfree product is labeled as Jeju Orchid Eye Cream, but if you actually looked at the breakdown of the ingredients list, the Orchid fell really, really low on the ingredients list. I think even fragrance was higher than the actual, what is supposed to be kind of the featured ingredient of this product. So that was kind of a bummer. I really think with Innisfree, as far as a lot of the products that I've used from them, You know, when you're talking about appleseed or orchid or blueberry, they're all kind of categorized in these different, around these different fruits and flowers and ingredients from Jeju. The actual amount of that product that's in there is very minimal. It's more for the justification of the scent and to help kind of market them in a specific line. So you've got your whole orchid line, your whole appleseed line, your whole blueberry line, but at the end of the day, those ingredients aren't really providing the benefit of the product. So I felt the same about the appleseed cleansing gel. I felt the same about the blueberry cleansing foam. They were all just kind of, you know, they're good products, or they worked well on my face, but I wouldn't attribute that to the orchid at all. So I won't be coming back to this. I would rather find an eye cream that's going to be a little bit more effective in reducing and diminishing those things that happen day to day. Maybe you don't get enough sleep, or you've got dark circles, or some bags, or some puffiness, or irritation. This was just kind of hydrating, and that's it. So yeah, not going to come back to it. Probably wouldn't recommend it either. Next up is the Klairs Youthful Glow Sugar Mask. This is one that's been in my routine for so long. I did the actual like blog review for it when I hit the month mark with it, but since then it's been in my routine just until I finally ran out. So it took, I'd say, probably about 2 to 3 months to actually run out of it. And once again, I still had a little in there. I just kind of rinsed it out so I could move on. I used it so much that like there was one night where I just got the cap twisted wrong and I cracked the top. But anyway, this is a sugar-based scrub that has some natural oils and I believe some waxes in it as well. It's been so long since I've done the review. pH balanced, and then it also has, I think, some citrus in it, so it has some antioxidant and vitamin C power for some brightening as well. I really liked this product. You basically apply it to damp skin as opposed to dry, so immediately that sugar starts to break down. And as it's breaking down, it's going to provide a physical exfoliation like a sugar scrub would, but it breaks down pretty quickly, so you end up with almost kind of like a creamy mask. And then you kind of just let that mask sit for, 10 to 20 minutes, just depending on how much time you have. And then you just completely rinse it off. It emulsifies and you rinse it off. This mask always left my skin feeling super smooth and very soft. I always look forward to my physical exfoliation step, as long as it's a gentle exfoliation step. You don't want to be very aggressive, like certain abrasive ingredients or shell shell powders and stuff are not great. But sugar is nice because it breaks down and kind of just dissolves into the rest of the mask. So I didn't notice a ton in the way of like brightening or any sort of extra benefit from this product other than just smooth, more even textured skin, which is exactly what I want from a sugar mask. Outside of that, any of the other claims that this makes, take it or leave it, it's just a decent sugar mask. Personally, I would still go for the Skin Food coconut sugar wash-off mask. Those granules of coconut sugar are just so much more fine, but there's a lot of them in the Skin Food mask, so you still get that exfoliation, but it just feels much more gentle. And when you apply that water, they almost immediately dissolve, so you have a lot more control of how much scrubbing you're actually doing. You can kind of regulate it a lot better. Whereas thicker granules, even with the water, it's going to take a minute for those to break down. The coconut sugar, you put a little water on it because that goes onto dry skin, and it just, boom, it's right into this very nourishing, very hydrating mask that just smells incredible. This does smell really good. It smells kind of like an orange, maybe not an orange creamsicle, but like an orange sherbet or something. It has a really nice citrus/sugary scent, but I still prefer the coconut one. That's my kind of holy grail one, and this was actually my last sugar scrub that I had to test. So I will be going over to the coconut sugar scrub and using that exclusively from now on, unless something else comes across my vanity or comes into my stash that really intrigues me. I'm pretty much set with the coconut sugar scrub. So there's that. I would say I wouldn't recommend this. I'd go for the Skin Food one over this one. It's also more affordable, and I think you get more in each bottle or each container as well. So, All right, moving on. Last few. Let's talk about the Blythe Pressed Serum. This is the Crystal Ice Plant. This is a serum, but it's done in like a pressed format, so it almost feels like a cream. And this was actually, it's completely empty, otherwise I'd show you what it looks like. It was almost like a jelly or gel style serum or gel style moisturizer. It had kind of a bounce to it and kind of a clear texture, and it had this wonderful kind of like aquamarine color to it. It's beautiful. The product is very beautiful. The texture of it is just so nice. It's very slightly watery, but it still, you know, holds its shape. Very, very nice serum. It's got the crystal acid and a lot of other calming ingredients in it. So this is used for mild hydration, but ideally geared towards those with oily skin that can't handle a heavier serum or a heavier moisturizer. It's just gonna help calm, hydrate, and just kind of balance the skin. For me, it did that to a certain extent. When I applied this, it was great in the fridge. I kept it in the fridge. On days where I was just feeling like my skin was very hot, maybe a little irritated, maybe a little bit red from either a day of hiking or just being outside, it was great for summer just to kind of cool everything down and offer some gentle calming. But the actual effects of it weren't that impressive. I didn't notice a ton of calming, which I did from another product that we have left to talk about. Not a ton of calming. The hydration wasn't anywhere near what I need. Even though I have normal combination skin, I found that layering some deeper hydrating products is what keeps my skin really clear and hydrated for longer throughout the day. So when I look for a serum, I want something that's either really impactful for what it says it's going to do, like a Centella Asiatica serum that's going to be all calming, or a serum that's going to be quite heavy or thick for some deeper hydration. And this just really didn't check off either of those boxes. I wasn't blown away by it. And even though there is 50 mils, I felt like sometimes I even used two layers of it just to kind of get a semblance of the hydration that I needed. So I burned through this thing pretty quick. And even though I got it on sale from Glow Recipe, otherwise it's in the $50 range. And for me, that's just far too pricey for what it did. And then also, even though you're seeing a ton of plastic here, I'm slowly trying to convert my routine over to more products that come in glass. And so this one is just so incredibly thick of plastic that I was just like, oh, this is kind of a bummer. Like, I don't know if this can be recycled. It's just so, like, you can see that whole, like, it looks like it might be glass, but it is just like the thickest plastic you can imagine. And so I just wasn't a fan. It just has this weight. It felt like kind of like a lot of waste. It's kind of pricey, and I didn't see a lot of benefits from it personally. I think I should have maybe gone for the Velvet Yam or the Chaga pressed serums from the same line, but I didn't. I went for the Crystal Ice Plant because I thought my skin, I had at the time, I guess I assumed that because I'm more combination that maybe this would be better, but it wasn't. Should have gone for something heavier, maybe a little bit more beneficial. This was just kind of a dud compared to the Blythe product that we're about to talk about that I've got set aside over here, which is like a whole different story. So this one, I didn't even write a formal review about. It was just so kind of ho-hum and just kind of plain that it didn't spark any interest for me even to write about it. It was just kind of, not that great. It's another one I wouldn't recommend, wouldn't come back to. Okay, so let's talk about, keeping in the spirit of calming products, the Peach and Lily Power Calm Hydrating Gel Cleanser. This stuff is amazing. It is a very, very mild gel cleanser, and it's a gel cleanser in every sense of the word. It comes out almost looking like a jelly kind of serum, and it doesn't really lather or foam at all. It's very mild. The foaming is very mild, but it just has this wonderful slide and wonderful feeling when you are massaging it in. There's a lot of movement, so you almost feel like you can do kind of a light facial massage, kind of really get in there and work the lymph nodes or massage the temples, and really take your time with this product so it has the opportunity to break up those surface impurities, remove some excess oil, sebum, those types of things. But it does it in the most gentlest of ways. It's probably the most gentle cleanser I've ever used, even more gentle than the Lotus cleanser that we talked about. And it took me some time to get used to that process of cleansing in that manner because I'm used to the luxurious foams and the lathers, even from pH balanced products that can do that, like the Lotus one. So I was used to that feeling of clean, or that sensation, or just having that lather gives you that feeling that you're clean. This doesn't really have that. It doesn't have that satisfaction piece to it. But what it does leave behind is skin that doesn't feel stripped or dry at all, but really, really properly nourished and hydrated. I'd almost say that this gives you a little bit of that initial hydration that a toner typically would, or an essence, right from your cleanser. And it reduced so much redness and irritation on days that I needed it. I was blown away. I mean, it has Centella asiatica in it, has some other, I think there's licorice root in there. It has some other calming ingredients, so I shouldn't have been that shocked. But just from a cleanser, to be able to rinse your face and see a lot of the redness, or like if I had a blemish, the redness on that just drastically reduced just from the initial step of cleansing, is kind of shocking to me. So it's one that, even though it comes in this plastic tube, I have some other cleansers that come in glass that I'm going to be testing out. But if those end up not working out, I'm just going to have to be really, really good about properly cutting this open, rinsing it out, and recycling it, because it's just that good. It's such an amazing cleanser. It changed my whole perception on what a cleanser should feel like and should do when it's on your skin. And I'm so happy that I gave it a try, because it's just kind of, it's great. It's almost like a cleanser / a calming toner or a calming serum in one. So definitely one to give a try. That's the Power Calm Hydrating Gel Cleanser. And then we're talking about the Aromatic A Rosemary Refresh Toner. So this is a big old toner. You get 375 mils. It's a super watery toner. Once again, I'm all out. That has a wonderful, refreshing rosemary or herbal scent to it. It also has some other hydrating ingredients and calming ingredients as well. But it's the Refresh Toner. It's slightly acidic. It has organic rosemary, rosemary oil, rosemary extract. I think there's rosemary water. And this is an alcohol-free, non-astringent product. So this is great for doing like multiple layers, or the 7 skin method with your toner, because you just get so much of it. So you get this, you get a little plastic spray bottle, which I was kind of like, but I'm reusing it, so I'm getting multiple uses out of it. I have another toner in it now. And then it comes with some cotton pads, which once again, I don't particularly want to use the one-time use cotton pads, so I'll probably give those away to a friend who will get some use out of them. But I love this stuff. This was great for providing a lot of just watery hydration and just layer after layer of that 7 skin method. I just went until my skin was nearly dripping before I moved on to my next steps in my routine. I found this not only to be refreshing, but also quite calming as well. So once again, any redness, blemishes, this just helped to kind of keep things calm in general. And the spray bottle is great. You just kind of mist, pat, and keep doing that until your skin feels really drenched in hydration and just basically can't hold anymore. And then that's when I would move on to just a couple layers of essence, serum, moisturizers, and so on. So I typically look for a toner that maybe has a little bit of or BHA or something like that, something very mild. Which Aromatica makes an AHA version of this with orange is the key ingredient there. But this, you just get so much bang for your buck. I did use this in a month, but I'm not kidding when I said that I was just soaking my face in it. Any other toner, if I had treated it that way, I would have burned through it in like a week and a half. And this, I think, comes in at like $20, so it's really affordable per ounce than what you would find from some other brands. So this is one that, if it came in glass, because like I said, I'm kind of on this reusing my bottles kick. If it came in glass, this would probably be my new go-to forever. $20, this size in a glass bottle, it's a done deal. But I guess I can justify it in saying that you get so much. This is the equivalent of like 3 bottles of a normal 100 ml toner, almost 4 bottles. So I guess I can justify it. I am curious to try the AHA-based one just to see how that does. And then there's another one that I think is, they come in orange, rose, lavender. There's a lavender one that's specific to calming. So I don't know. I love it. I would absolutely recommend it. There's a lot of organic ingredients in this. It's 100% vegan. It's EWG certified. This is a really, really reputable brand for some natural and organic products. I just wish that we got a glass bottle, but that's just my personal preference. No judgment there. So anyway, I love it. I would recommend it. Check it out. I'll put the links for all this below. So that's it. That's all the empty stuff. I'm going to run through some of the things that are not empty that I just want to touch on that I'm going to be giving away to a family member, but this is the last time I'll have them here at my home, so I might as well talk about them before they go off to be tried by somebody else. So we'll talk about the stuff that I was not a fan of that I'm hoping she might have better luck with. First thing is going to be the Neogen Real Vita C Powder Lemon. That's kind of a reflective package, so I'm going to crack this open. I'm just going to take the jar out so you can see. That's what that looks like there. This is a vitamin C powder, a fairly recent release from Neogen and SocoGlam, and it's an exclusive collaboration. So you have this powdered vitamin C in there, and basically what you're told to do is just take a scoop or two of this with a decent amount of a toner or essence, something liquid, plop it in there, mix, 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 and then you're just going to go ahead and pat that into the skin, and that gives you that boost of vitamin C. So antioxidant power, brightening power, fighting hyperpigmentation, dark spots, those types of things. Same as a vitamin C serum, but the supposed benefit, or I guess the true benefit of it, is because it's in a powder form, it's a lot more stable than something like the Cosrx Triple C Lightning Liquid or something like that ideally needs to be kept cool and refrigerated and needs to be produced in fresh batches because that vitamin C oxidizes in a liquid form more quickly than in a powdered form. So you have less time to use up that bottle, whereas something like this activates upon contact. So this can really sit in your closet or on your vanity for a lot longer than a vitamin C serum, especially something as strong as the Cosrx product that should ideally be kept refrigerated, and you want to get through that in like a month or two, otherwise it'll start to oxidize and become less effective. So that's the benefit, or kind of the beauty of a powder, is you can just grab this thing whenever you want. If you're the type of person that only uses it as a spot treatment, if you're the type of person that isn't always super consistent with when you're using products, having something living in the fridge and you're all the way in the bathroom, sometimes you'll probably frequently forget to use it or skip it, and then before you know it, a couple months go by and now you have a product that was half used and the rest is unusable. So I get it. This absolutely makes sense, and I was 100% ready to absolutely love this product because it would be nice to have something I can just keep in the bathroom. Beep, boop, off I go, mix it in with a little toner. But what I found is this product, you really have to use a lot of essence or a lot of toner to have enough to really get it to completely dissolve. This, the main ingredient in this is actually, oh my gosh, it is actually not vitamin C. I think that's the second ingredient. The first ingredient is what gives it the this kind of bulk and this kind of powdery weight, and it is a type of sugar. It is, oh no, it is, oh my gosh. It's not lactose. It's lactose. I probably could have read the darn box. I had to go off of memory. It's lactose, which is a milk sugar, and so that sugar almost looks like powdered sugar, and it's basically used as the vehicle to mix with the vitamin C to kind of give it some more weight. And I guess to help it maybe absorb a little bit better. In my mind, I feel like the reason why you're not just getting straight up vitamin C powder is there's some other stuff in here, collagen, other ingredients in this formula. It's not just straight up vitamin C. So maybe they need that lactose to just be a delivery method for that. My other thought is without the lactose, if they just gave you a thing of pure vitamin C, you'd end up with a tiny little bottle, which I've seen before from other brands. It's a teeny tiny little thing that you have to be ever so careful in applying because it's incredibly potent. So this kind of gives you more bulk. It's a little more foolproof, I guess. So, but in doing that, it's just incredibly grainy to me, even after mixing with an essence or a toner. I could never get it completely broken down without having like a whole palm full of product, and then it's just a mess. You've got a whole palm full of like, fluidy toner, and then you've got to quickly kind of go, and then I usually ended up with some down my neck or some on the sink. It just was messy. I ended up finding that I liked it better when mixed with a moisturizer or maybe like an emulsion style lotion, because they're a little bit thinner, because it actually seemed to just mix with that a little bit better, and I could take my time in breaking it down without it just being messy. And then it seemed to apply a little bit nicer, but then I found, because I used it towards the end of my routine, that it caused everything I put on top of it to pill. So my sunscreen or any other moisturizer would just pill like crazy, and it almost felt a little tacky. I just couldn't find a way to get this to work in my routine in a successful way that was convenient and effective. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. I tried using it at the beginning of my routine, at the end of my routine, taking a little bit longer to mix it, using more product, using less, mixing it with my sunscreen, mixing it with my moisturizer, and I just could not get it to work in a way that was just as comfortable as my current my current favorite product, which is the Glow Recipe Pineapple C Bright Serum. That stuff just goes on like velvet. It just feels so incredibly comfortable. It's so great at brightening. And because I use some vitamin C derivatives and some different stabilizers, I don't feel like I have to keep that refrigerated. It seems to do just fine out of the refrigerator. I'm not noticing any crazy change or effectiveness. I think they got it right. And so that's the one that I'm sticking with. I don't have any other vitamin C products in my stash to review. I'm sticking with that one. And so I'm hoping that my relative will be able to get some use out of it or find a way. And a lot of people really love this and are able to mix it with certain toners or essences and it works for them, or they're willing to compromise because they don't like having to keep stuff refrigerated, or they don't like having a serum that's so unstable. And so and I even thought to myself, maybe you could use this with just a teensy amount of toner and create almost like a paste and use it as a spot treatment on a specific dark spot. Maybe you don't want vitamin C on the whole face. And if that's the case, if you're just using little bits at a time and you don't want to have to keep throwing away vitamin C serums that have gone bad, this is absolutely a way to do it as a nice overnight spot treatment. But I think for someone that like me that uses it consistently every single day without question, I can use a serum and be happier with it. So that's that. This thing will last forever. I mean, I used it for a month and I barely made a dent. So that's that. I think it's $20. Link down below. Let's burn through these last three really quickly because I've got one sitting over here. Okay, so this is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This is in apple lime and this is in pear. I picked these up. They were fairly new releases. I mean, I guess this isn't new, but this was fairly new when I got it. And I hadn't used any other Laneige products. These are my first two. Decided to grab these. Didn't like either of them. I've used the Clavu Nourishing Lip Sleeping Pack before from Soko Glam. I absolutely loved that sleeping mask. It had a nice vanilla scent. It was very nourishing and hydrating. This just felt a lot more waxy, a lot more Vaseline-like. And taking a look at the ingredients, there's not a whole lot in the way of actually providing nourishment and hydration to the lips. There's more of a focus on creating the right texture. There's a ton of fragrance in here, added colorants. It just wasn't what I was looking for in a skincare product in general. It's just the ingredients list just is kind of a mess in my opinion. And I just didn't see a lot of benefit. I used it pretty consistently, a lot more consistently than I normally would for a sleeping mask. And overall, I just didn't see the benefits that I was hoping to see. Certainly not as good as the Clavu product. So it smells nice, but for me, that was about it. So not a whole much more to say. I used the included spatula, which I do like that Laneige provides this wonderful little lip spatula that has a lot of flex to it. It's like a little silicone spatula. I love that. Clavu didn't include that, but it's just not for me. And In fact, because I'm using SPF on my lips now, I don't think any lip sleeping mask is really for me. It's not a step that I remember that often. And so I think I'm just going to omit lip sleeping masks from my routine in general. It's just not a step that I think that I need. And then the Lip Glowy Balm, I should have known it from the name. Let me make sure that focus is in. These were just kind of a product that were a new release, and I was kind of like, ooh, something new. I'll grab it in pear and in grapefruit. I'm not going to give this one away because I did put it on my lips, but I have a brand new grapefruit version of this, or grapefruit scent. It's not flavored, it's scented. And once again, the ingredients list was just kind of, after I did a nice review of it, I was like, oh, there's not really anything that beneficial. It's all about just creating that lip gloss. It's more of a makeup product than anything else. It does have pear extract. This has apple and lime, but they're so low on the list. It's like, to me, it almost is like, okay, it's there just to say that they have it in there, but it's incredibly low on the ingredients list. I don't like lip glosses. I should have known that this balm was going to be glowy or more like a gloss, and it felt just like your typical, like, you know, lip smackers, squeeze it out of a little applicator kind of lip gloss. I didn't notice any hydrating benefits. It has 0 SPF, and it just left me with kind of shiny, waxy, I won't get a little bit closer, waxy lips, and I wasn't a fan. A lot of people will like it for that glossy look, but that's just not my style. It smells great, smells like pears, doesn't taste like pears, but it wasn't for me either. It was just kind of a bust. So I'm giving away the grapefruit, and I'm probably going to toss this one. And then last but not least is the Blythe Vital Treatment Essence 8 Nourishing Beans. I still have a bit left because I wanted my cousin to try it. This stuff is amazing. I've talked about it in previous videos. It is a hydrating essence, so it's not focused on brightening or fighting dark spots or hyperpigmentation. It's a hydrating essence. And one second, I'm just going to wipe this off so I can do a little test. Okay, sorry, I wanted to wipe that stuff off my hands so I could kind of do a little sample of this, but it's a hydrating essence, but something different about it is rather than being a really thin, watery essence, it's rather thick and kind of heavy. And it has 8 different beans to provide a lot of nourishment. You're going to have a lot of antioxidant and just some general hydration. There's also some I think there's collagen in here as well, but there's also some supposed lifting or plumping benefits. But for me, I found it to just be incredibly hydrating. Probably one of the most hydrating essences I have ever used. It also has vitamin E, and that comes in these little beads. I hope you can see them. There's these little white beads in the formula that once you massage it into the skin, those burst and they release the vitamin E, which they do that because they claim it keeps it more fresh and kind of in an inactive state until they burst, and then you get that active vitamin E. And vitamin E is a great antioxidant and hydrator that pairs really well with vitamin C for kind of like a 1-2 punch to fight against UV damage, and just has some anti-aging properties. So it just has this wonderful kind of like herbal, citrus, maybe almost like a lemongrass kind of scent to it that's really, really nice. And it just absorbs immediately, but provides a lot of hydration. So this is another one that you can just layer and layer and layer until your skin really is just fully saturated before you move on. So I would, if you're not using an acid-based toner, you're looking just for hydration, you could get away with using this as a toner and essence combo because it just provides so much to the skin, and it's really easily absorbed. It's not heavy in the oils. It doesn't feel oily or greasy, so you can really layer it on and you can see just how much hydration that provides just with a couple layers. So I'd say this is probably my most favorite essence that I've used for hydration. If you're looking for more of a brightening effect, lightening hyperpigmentation, you're going to want to find an essence that has Saccharomyces ferment filtrate or rice ferment filtrate, or a higher concentration of niacinamide to help promote brightening. But if you're maybe have really dry skin, or you're just looking for hydration above all else with some powerful antioxidants, this is kind of the it product. Glow Recipe used to carry it. They don't anymore, but it can still be found on Yes Style. But this is absolutely one that I would consider coming back to. I wish it was in glass once again, but I would consider coming back to this one because it was just so beneficial. It lasts a long time, and I could probably reuse this bottle for something. So yeah, I love it. I would finish it, but my cousin's coming into town, and so I was just like, I'm saving the rest of my Blythe because you absolutely must try it. So she's excited to come into town and give this a shot, and I'll be sending her home with the rest of this. So that's it. That is all of the products that are either empty or are just going bye-bye from my routine and from my stash. So I hope you found some interesting information here. I will be posting all of the links and pricing down below. And if you have any questions or need clarification on any of these products, want some more details, feel free to comment below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And if you have any friends, family members, coworkers that are interested in getting into K-beauty or just getting into different styles of skincare in general, I don't stick just to Korean beauty. I've got some Western products in the mix as well, and I'll have a lot more now that I'm going to be transitioning more to some more sustainable, clean beauty products in my routine. So yeah, if it's just about, starting that conversation around skincare, exchanging ideas, understanding ingredients and formulations, and then seeing how they react on each other's skin. So if you have anybody that might be curious about that, send them my way, and always check out Instagram. That's AJKBEAUTY on Instagram. I've got a WordPress blog that gives you much more detail about all of these products and individual reviews. That's ajkbeauty.wordpress. And then on Facebook, I'll leave links down below. I just started a Facebook group called Sustainably Beautiful. It's clean beauty and skincare. So it's just all about opening a dialogue around clean beauty, whether that be packaging that's a little bit more sustainable, maybe that's formulations that have some more environmentally friendly ingredients or better for your skin ingredients, or just tips and tricks for better recycling practices. So it's all just about creating, not completely changing how you live your life, but taking what you already do, making some minor adjustments so it's a little bit better for the earth and future generations. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay glowing. Bye.